I've been involved in this thing for the last 2 or 3 years, and it's not something I chose to do because I have the science education. I made the mistake of moving to Pennsylvania 15 years ago, and now Pennsylvania is the biggest joke in the world. We have people in the organization that I work with that are coming to us from across the globe, from South Africa. We hosted people from Australia. They're coming to us to see what's going on in Pennsylvania because they're throwing it away. They're throwing everything away. And it's more than just the water. It's more than just the air. This industry will come back and they will say, we can fix this with best management practices. Well, what I see, because I unfortunately took the effort to get a science education, unlike the rest of the narcissistic, dysfunctional lawyers that live in Harrisburg and live off the public dole and have no science education, they're lying to you. This industry cannot mitigate the ecological footprint of what's going to happen. When I say the ecological footprint, what other industry, what other heavy industry can go anywhere it wants to? And right now in Pennsylvania, they are trashing our natural resources. And when I say natural resources, I'm not talking about the birds and the bees and let's go pet Bambi. I'm talking about what's going to impact the sustainable economies of our communities for generations. We know we destroy the forest, and make no doubt about it, they will not replace the forest. And I know this for a fact. I'm seeing what they're doing. It's not just spilling stuff on the ground. It is the systemic, chronic impact of a dispersed industrialization. There is no way they can get that gas without wrecking everything on the surface. And when they wreck the surface, they are wrecking the Susquehanna River, they are wrecking the Chesapeake Bay, they are wrecking a sustainable economy for generations. And it's not going to be replaced. Give you a quick example. 100 years ago, we had another bunch of crazy people come through Pennsylvania and cut all the trees down. It took 100 years for this forest to get to where it is today. That's 100 years of equity that belongs to all Pennsylvanians. And these guys are shredding it overnight. And if you want the details, I can tell you more, but I can't do it in 2.5 minutes. They are destroying that forest. It will not come back. If you give these people, if you give them even 50 years, which is generous, I doubt they're going to last that long, but say they last 50 years, there's no trees going back into that forest, and 50% of these pads and pipelines are expected to go into forested habitats. 50 years before the first tree seedling is allowed to grow on those sites. And we're talking about hundreds and hundreds of thousands of acres. 50 years before the first tree, another 100 years before the forest gets back to where it is today. 150 years before this natural resource recovers. Because what the industry tell you is they're going to restore the land. They will not. They will not restore what they're taking. They are going to plant you. They're going to plant grass for you. And restoration is not reclamation. Reclamation is making sure you don't get a big pile of mud come out in the road because you plant grass. Restoration is replacing what they destroyed. And make no doubt about it, all the economic models that come out of Penn State, and I'm a Penn State grad, they do not take into account the full externality cost, which should be in the cost of the gas extraction, and they don't do it. And so it's time for Governor Corbett to put down his banjo and uncross his eyes and do the right thing. And I don't expect that's going to happen. Thank you for the opportunity.